And I guess I'm online. And it looks like I have managed to start the stream. So, welcome back to, but 1 second, just give me 1 second. And let me just start the records of this session also. And let's just start this. Okay, why this recording is not working? Okay. Can I see this? Can I start recording this? Okay, let's just start it. Why? Why can't I start this? Why can't I start you? Why can't I start recording this guy? And it looks like yes, I managed to start the recording also. And yes, welcome back to the another day of another section of this game development journey. And today I would like to continue on this Last Banana game, which is a time-based, the time constraint game, which is just basically a 2D top-down shooter game, where the player simulates a gorilla as the main character, and where the player needs to fight with the tiger within here. And the tiger would be the second. The tiger would be the second bosses that I have managed to implement it. And yes, hello there. Also great to see everyone doing. And I'm ready to dive into the game development. And today I would like to continue on this on the attack movement of this tiger, actually. And before this session, before I started this stream, I have found some time to play with this a little bit, and I'm thinking about that. I would not have enough time to implement the third boss phases, but it looks like I would manage to I would manage to implement the boss phases of the tiger. So let me just show you what I have managed to implement so far. And when I start the enemy loop for the tiger, when I enable the enemy loop for the tiger starts to run after the gorilla, and if it reaches the gorilla, it does its attack, and then it returns back to its starting position. Then it tries to do the same thing, but the trick over here is that player need to dodge the attack, wait for the gorilla, wait for the tiger, and need to dodge it at the last second before before receive any of the hits from the tiger. And I have managed to implement this palm movement, the pawn attack, and which is a melee type, which is a damage type, which is a close range attack for this type for the boss. So right now I'm feeling confident about this, and this would be a good choice. This implementation seems really fine. And also over here under the enemy tiger, I can just turn this sprite off, but I just kept this sprite on in order to see this, in order to debug this easily. So the next thing I want to continue over here is I want to spend some time on this tail whip, which would be the nearly the same attack of this 360-degree rotation attack of the bull, and I just want to copy and paste this same attack for the tiger also. And the difference would be for the second and the third phases of this tiger. So before continuing further, let's just open up the enemy section and find the enemy loop, and this should be the one of them. This is the 360 rotating attack for 5 seconds. Let's just copy all the list and paste it as the second phase under the enemy tiger to have some reference underneath. And let's just try to copy the 360 rotating attack under the enemy movement section. Okay. Why can't I do this? Can I move it? Okay, it looks like I cannot move it. I can copy and I can change the values of the list, it looks like, and let's just, after returning back to its previous position, it should start a rotating attack, and yes, it seems like it's working already. And what I want to do over here is that I want to implement some kind of particles, some kind of projectiles over this tiger while this tail whip, this rotation attack is happening. And also the third type of attack for this phase of the tiger is to let the tiger to disappear and randomly appear on some parts of the screen to place types of bombs, actually, types of spikes, in order to get the player, in order to let the player, in order to caught the player in order to distract the player and caught the player unguarded. Actually, this one would be the correct word, I guess. Have you play tested how timing feels and players trying to dodge the tiger's attack? Actually, I haven't had the chance to play test this thing, and I'm not really feeling confident about the dodge of the player, the dodge timing of the player, because the dodge timing is not really working as I intended. And let me first before continuing further on the tiger attack, let's just find the get key down and key the code space. Let's find the dash movement first and play with the parameters a little bit. Space. Okay, why can't I find it? Because it's within the current document, and if I change this to current project, key code space. And this is for the do dash routine. And in order to run the dash movements, I need to, if I want to play with the parameters with the dash movements, I need to get the player component over here and play with the dash multiplier. what is dash multiplier is really doing? It's just multiplying the time. And if I play with the dash duration, let's also have this dash duration as a reference over here under the dash multiplier, and add a header section for the dash parameters. And let's rename this as the dash duration. Also, let's implement a range component over here with the range of 0.01 till the value of 0.5. And let's set this dash, let's play with the dash duration and the dash multiplier values in order to get a better result. And let's just do some playtesting with this dashing. And the best part of this is that if I have a better dashing on this tiger component, I would also have better movement. Okay, right now somehow this seems more satisfying than the previous one. So how about this? Go left. It's kind of like teleporting from one point to another point right now. And okay, can't I use the dash movements one after each other? I need to wait for, this is the wait for seconds for the dash duration, and then I should be able to run this dash coroutine again. But it looks like there's something. The something is not really correct. But I'm feeling confident about this. This dash movement is a lot better than the previous one. Hey, you cannot catch me. You cannot catch me. And actually, I really like this approach. The new dash mechanics is a lot nicer than the previous one. So, thanks for giving me a chance to playtest this also. Yeah, I considered adding some visual feedback when the dash is on a cooldown. Actually, dash movement effect would be a better section, a good thing. And I also have a package of these prefabs of the combat section, and maybe I should have implemented a little dash particle system in order to make this more eye-catchy. So I have healing, hearts, level up, loot, money, portals, power up, stars, trails. Trails would be a good thing actually. And then a warning sign. Cards, emojis, feathers. Okay, fire, fog, firework, water, header, underwater, sparks, smokes, bubbles. That's not the thing I'm looking for. And over here I have decals, explosions, nova, shields. Okay, flamethrower, shields, and missiles. If I get over here, I have some interesting particle systems also. But trail would be a good one. So how about integrating a trail after it for the tail of this dash movement? And let's find the trails. Fire floor trail. But I cannot see any effect. Okay. Where are you? Actually, this trail would be a good solution for the um, bull movements. These are the ice floor trail, lightning floor, lightning purple trail. Okay. Lightning floor, yellow trail. Should I use something like this? And if I search for the trails as the prefab over here, and over here I have some bubble trail. Nope. Bubble simple, hard trail, ice floor, lightning floor, bubble. No. Lightning floor, smoke, dark smoke. Actually, smoke trail would be a good option for this dash movement to create some effect after the. Okay, I would go with this smoke white soft over the scene. Smoke white soft for the player. And if I set this enabled by default, okay, this is too small. And how about this size? If I set the scale of this particle system to 3, and if I set the values to 0, this is just a fast gorilla which is running around the scene. So on this dash component, let's just add a player at this particle system as a reference underneath the player component and serialized field. Let's fill this serialized fields with the particle system and dash trail. Name this as the dash trail, and when I start this dash coroutine, I want to enable this game object, set this to true, and when this coroutine is finalized, I want to reset. I want to set this to false. Okay. And let's see that if this approach is working or not. Let's just add this dash trail over here, and this is the values, this is the scale values. Okay, now I do not have this dash trail, but no, I would probably need a better particle system, but actually instead of better particle system, I would I should have a much more delay for disabling this dash trail back to 0. The dash I before setting the game object of this effect back to false, game object active to false, because right now I cannot see the dashing movement. So if I increase the dash duration to something like 0.5 and reduce the dash multiplier. Now the okay, this is too much. How about reducing the value a little more? But this is too low. 0.2. Let's try the new value of 0.2. Since this is smoke, it should not be disabled, but it should track to change its value. Actually, it should track to run. So, can I change any of these values over here to get the effect that I wanted? How about setting the renderer disabled and enabled? I set the renderer enabled and over here it's disabled, but I want it to stop generating the if I play with the looping parameter, nope. It's not getting me the effect that I wanted. So after it reaches a certain speed, I want it to track down the. This is the emission shape, limit velocity over lifetime. Okay, this is not. This is for inheriting velocity. Okay. Color over lifetime, that's not the thing. Size over lifetime, that's not the thing. Rotation over lifetime. Texture sheet animation and rendering. So, how about rendering? Maximum particle size. View, allow roll. Where is the point that this particle system starts rendering? And it should starts rendering after a certain point of speed threshold is reached. So what is the start speed? Maybe I could tie the trail's emission rate to the player's velocity. That way it only appears when you are moving fast enough during the dash. So you are referring to me as the rate over distance. The emission rate of the player's velocity. Player's velocity, but what is the what would happen if I play with the start speed? Okay, this is for the duration of the start rotation, flip rotation, start color, simulation speed. Okay, if I set the simulation speed to one scale move, play on awake. Okay, nope. Emitter velocity mode, it's rigid body. Custom and transform it has. Stop action nodes, always simulated. Rate over distance, and this is the shape. This is the sphere. Nope, this is not the thing I am looking for. Limit or how about I set this value too big, multiply by size. If I set this emitter velocity mode to something custom, okay, can I add any custom velocity threshold? It starts only in y, x, y, and now I have no idea how to do this. Start speed. This is referencing the trail, the particle system. Does this guy have any? This is the renderer, this is the sort mode, this is for the maximum particle size, allow roll, pivot, masking, no masking, cast shadows, on receive shadows. Motion vector, per object motion, sorting layer. Nope. It looks like I cannot assign any speed threshold over here. Maybe I can disable the looping. Okay, what was happening? Right now it's not working because somehow I forget to implement its game object. Instead of changing the game object, I want this value to soften out as it is, but I cannot find where I can sort this thing out. So this is simulation speed. While it's moving, actually this is really close to the thing that I wanted. If I press the space key, it gets over a certain threshold, and yes, this may be the thing that I wanted. How about comment out this section? This is the simulating speed. If I set this to 3, then it just simulates it faster. Okay. Anyway, let's continue on another thing and stop this thing for now. And have I thought about adding a quick screen shake when the dash starts? Could it make even more impactful? Yes, a screen shake while the dashing may be a good thing to consider. But let's have a note for this for the future, and I just want to continue on the but first let's screen shake effect for dashing. But first I just want to continue to implement this disappear and reappear, or disappear, make the tiger disappear, or it can just spawn some spikes around the. Okay, do I have any type of different types of spikes? Explosion spike, ice spike, island spike. And what if I no. No, definitely not you. What if I want to import this 2D texture, the spike texture as a sprite within the scene, and let the tiger to spawn these spikes within the scene. So let's get over the sprite section, sprites folder, and have a spike over here to create some danger effect for the player. And let's have can I have a gradient for the color? This is the start, the end color, the new color, the original color. Okay, let's have a color red for this spike. Mask interaction, visible, sliced, sprite sort points to the pivot. And I want to, actually let's have something gray, but open gray. White gray, and what I want the tiger to create some kind of spikes, but the first attack disappear and appear and left a static trap. Trap. Do I have any trap? I have bear trap. And if I look at the trap over here, the tiger to left some traps within the map. So if I scale this trap a little bit up to see it. Okay, this is on the wrong rotation, so let's change the rotation a little bit. And does this trap look good enough? Okay, this should work. This may work. And what I want to do is to get this bear trap, the 3D game object, within the package, the animation baking studio, and open up the base scene to bake this game object. So let's find the traps, the bear trap underneath over here, import the bear trap into the scene, and let's add a let's change the color of this bear trap to something gray. I want to have the color gray over here over this trap to make this more more readable. And over here let's have this mesh model of the bear trap. Okay, no controller, no animation. I just want to have some images of this bear trap. And how about the top-down shadow? Do I need any shadow over here? Or just bake the select model, and voila, I have my bear trap. And I want the tiger to disappear and reappear on the scene to plant some traps within the scene for the player. So let's return back to my previous section, previous scene. And over here let's just add these bear trap sprites within the scene. This is the animation, this is the palm, this is the gorilla, and here is the bear trap. And what I want to use is that I want to use this sprite within the scene. And where are you? Also, I need to get rid of this spike. First, copy component and find the bear trap and paste this component over here. Instead of explosion spike and this bear trap looks really small, let's just make it a little bigger. 1.5. And this looks like nice, and it looks like since I have this 3D game object, I may have implement some type of trap closing animation for this bear trap. Also, so before this thing, I just want to implement the bear trap over here and add a danger zone. There should be a danger zone. And this is the danger. Let's just copy one of the danger zones and use this as a reference for the bear trap and change the name and also change the sprite for the danger zone to the bear trap. And let's scale this down to 1.5. Get rid of this thing, and this is the white one. So if I try to playtest this, if I get over this bear trap, it just deals the damage towards the player. So, and also I also want this bear trap to be used as a one thing only, and after the animation is completed, I want it to be disappeared within the scene. Yes, and more of the Last Banana. Hey Bob Steinos, how are you? I hope that you are having a great evening. And I feel like I need to give a brief warning indicator before the trap appears. And in order to do this, first I need to teleport the tiger to where the trap is located, and then I need to add some kind of animation to plant this trap. And today I'm feeling really nice actually, Both Dinos, because I am able to make some progress with the tiger animation, and the next I am trying to implement the next mechanic that I want this tiger to have during the fight with the gorilla, and this is the next thing I want to implement right now. And in order to do this, I have just implemented, as you can see over here, a bear trap for the gorilla to deal some damage. And when I get over the player sprite, and what kind of animation can I use for planting this? Not the idle animation, but each animation, maybe, for planting. This should be nice. Not the rest animation, but run animation. Nope, not you. So I would use this eat animation for planting the trap. Yeah, it's at the end it should be called a gorilla trap, but yes, let's rename this from the bear trap to a gorilla trap. I named this after the game object that is already within my assets, so I make the naming as it is. But yes, you are right. It should be called a monkey trap. And what I want to do over here is to have some teleportation, shooting all directions. Shoot all directions, and let's play with the enemy loop over here and add another type for is spawning shields, is planting traps. Stomp attack, rotation attack, time for action, running towards player, stop distance with player, is moving, and is shooting to player, time between shots, shooting all the time between. Let's just add this underneath this space. Then with the public boolean is planting a trap, and let's set this to false by default. So if the current if is planting a trap, but before is planting a trap, I need to also define a boolean over here also, right? Bool is planting a trap, and let's also set this to false by default. This planting a trap would be equal to current enemy movement is planting a trap. Okay. So what should this thing do when is planting a trap is happening? Is C# my favorite coding language? Yes, it's actually, I do not have any favorite coding language, but it works out. And actually, Python might be my favorite coding language in that case, because Python is rather easy to deal with coding language, and in C# it's a little bit different, but if you compare it with the other languages, yeah, first the Python, then the C#, then the rest of the coding languages. And for the trap mechanic, maybe you could use a coroutine to handle the teleport and planting sequence. Yes, actually, this would be a good thing to deal with, and that's the thing that I have in mind, that I need to implement some type of coroutine in order to get this is planting a trap thing to be done. So let's first fight this is the enemy tiger, and in order to do this loop running, let's have another component called as plant trap gorilla plant gorilla trap planter. And Python is really good language while you are starting out. But have you ever tried to write a game in Python? Because that's that's really hard. That's really an experience that you would like to avoid, in my perspective. Because before starting to play with this, starting to create games within the Unity, I tried Python to write some of the codes, because I do not want to depend on some big engine, and I just wanted to write everything from scratch, and I just wanted to be free. But writing a game in Python is like it's really disaster, and I really do not recommend to do this. and it's really time consuming and it's really hard to debug, and so on. So one day if you'd like to, yes, using Python. And the only game I have ever made was very a Space Invaders, but only one. Yes, it's really nice, and using Python you develop that game, then you are good. Because I have some experience with the Python, and I have experience with the. Yeah, I'm not, if I'm remembering the library correct, it should be called the Pygame, and also I tried it with the Kiwi, if I remember correctly, and that's really hard thing to deal with the logic, the flow, and try implementing the sprites and debugging. It's really a disaster for me, at least. And I strongly suggest you to use a type of engine, the game engine. It can be Unreal. Yes, well, Pygame it should be, but it's really hard. It's really hard for me, at least in my experience. So let's get back to the Gorilla Trap Planter. And in order to do the Gorilla Trap Planter, I would like to have a method called the void starts planting a trap. But in order to plant a trap, previously, okay, let's first have a coroutine over here to track down this. And the teleports and plant the trap. And I would need a list of not vectors, but maybe transforms would be list of transforms would be a better, would be more suitable for have a list of random positions within the game, but these positions should not overlap with the gorilla during that time. So can I calculate a point? What does the void do? Actually, void does not do something, but it's just a symbol that all of the methods in C#, since this is object oriented, all of the methods needs to return some type of things by definition. So if you are, let's say, if you want to return after the method is finishing, if you would like to return integer, you can change this value to integer. Let me show you that if I want to generate a method like increment value by one with the parameter of, let's say, the integer, the input value, this gives me an error that it needs a return statement, and by this return statement I can return the integer, or with the input I can write this code as like this. And when I call this method within, let's say, in another method like start, okay, I forgot to implement these things. Let's say I have this start method over here, and I want to call this method. I can assign this method with the input value. Let's say if I set the increment by 1 with 1, this should have the integer. I can assign this as the integer results increment by 1, and this results would be the value of 2. So void is when you want to, yes, that's exactly what I try to explain. And if I set void instead of this integer, or list or any of the objects that's if I want that method to return nothing, absolutely nothing, I can just set it as void. Then all of the issues are solved. The void is, I'm not really sure about the word, but it should be something like null in English by definition. So it returns nothing. It returns emptiness. Oh, no problem. That's just a quick tip. And if you have more questions, if I got the answer also, I would like to answer those questions also. And in Python, I guess the methods are called with the def. It starts with the def, if I remember them correctly. And I'm not really sure that the Python methods return void or integer, or you should need to define something beforehand, as if it's in the C#. I remember that the Python just handles it automatically. So in order to start planting a trap, so these ones would be the places where the plants, the place where the trap can be placed. Or I can just teleport the player to a place where the gorilla is far from. And also, since I know the borders of this map, okay, let's just use this thing, and that would be a harder approach. That would be a complex approach. Teleport and plant the trap. So the places that where the trap can be placed. And before starting plant a trap, let's just first teleport the player to that position. And before, in order to, okay, let's have another void for teleport enemy to target to trap position. First, then wait for a little bit and do the animation and plant trap over there. Then go on to the next section. So teleport the enemy to the trap position. Before teleporting a player, I should just disable this, but disabling this game object would cause me trouble. So instead of this, let's just disable the sprite renderer and enable the sprite renderer. So in order to teleport the enemy to trap position, first get component the sprite renderer, get component in children. The sprite renderer and set this to false by default. Then change the position of this component, this transform.position, and set the position to the place where the trap can be. And let's just get a random position from this list. Random range. Okay, what I do not like is that this is a list of positions, transform. Okay, this transform dots, not since this is already transformed, let's get the position only. And this is the random position from the list. And after getting the random transform position, let's just set the sprite component to true, and this will finishes up the teleport enemy to transport to trap position. First, let's just start this thing, start the teleporting enemy to trap position. Then I should just for it start plant the trap. Plant the trap. For the random positions, I should be at a minimum distance check from the player to prevent unfair trap placements. Actually, I need to, instead of getting this random range position, I need to find the I need to check all of the transforms within the list and select the player transform position, select the okay, let's just return the distant position, most distant position, it may be. Return the distant position of the places where trap, the trap positions. And in order to calculate this, let's just implement a for loop for this list, or just for each loop will be better. Position place where trap can be, and let's also have a reference for the player. And also select a selected position. And if vector2 distance between the player transform position transform. Oh, thanks a lot, Bobsteiner. Oh, I do not feel like I'm doing great, but I have a feeling like that I would be managed to finalize this thing before the this month ends, and in the next month, in the February, I would like to start another project, another demo maybe. So thanks for the kind words. Thanks for your these courageous words for me. And if the distance with the position and the player transform position, let's set them to 0 by default. Okay, what you do not like is bigger than no is bigger than the selected position, which is the previously selected position. Yes, no problem. Do you have any ideas of what your next project will be? Actually, I would like to start. I would like to have my next project to be like, okay, my second monitor is having a problem right now. I would like to make something 3D, and I really have an idea. I have an idea of having a top-down game, which is like the which would be like the sorry about this, by the way. I still I have a problem with my monitor right now, and I try to deal with it. I would like to have a top-down 3D game, which would be like a game like the Commandos. Maybe it's like a real. I'm thinking about having a real-time strategy game, and where the player would just uh, moving the characters over the map, and in order to collect the resources, and in order it would need to they would need to be have in a kind of strategy. It's a kind of strategy game, and it's a kind of real-time strategy game where the game is really about the 3D top-down game. And I have some stories in my head, but right now I cannot gather the words that I want to explain right now. So, yes, if you have some time in the February, I would like to explain the game to you. Also, I would like to make some live streams for that game also, and I would like to create a demo for that game also. That's my point. And I also really like strategy games, and I have some experience with actually trying to develop a game for 3D. It's a lot easier, at least for me, or it's a lot easier to deal with. So, by the way, Bob Steiner, I need to go right now because I'm feeling really tired. You may not stream for a little days, but I will. Okay, sure, sure. Oh, as I said, I would start that project in the beginning of the February, and probably if you have any time in the February, you would catch up to you and I would catch up with the within the live streams. By the way, today I need to go now, and it's really late where I live. So I need to get some sleep because I'm feeling really tired. And have a good night and have a good luck to you. See you on the